Hello everyone, this is Shinobi once again with another Awaken Chaos Era video. Today I'm going to showcase Halia doing dungeon runs. So one of my viewers, OnionBotome, saw my video about Halia from yesterday and he was like, you said in Queen 14 that Halia's trade is giving Natalie a lot of damage. So you know what he did? He tested it out. He tested out a Queen 14 team using Natalie, Gangelo, Santis and Halia on it, and he was successful. And he said, I tested it out and it's successful. And he tested it out in Ash 14 and wins 14 as well, as you can see here. So I was like, awesome, that's great. You tested it out simply because I said that Halia's trade is giving such a huge bonus damage, and I'm thankful to him for that, for giving me this idea for the video and for giving me his stats for it. And I said, yeah, that's great, let's showcase it. If Halia can do that, why not? Let's see how it goes. And that's what you're seeing now. Now I'm able to do Which Other Win 14 without using Blackhorn or Santis or any other team. Just require Halia and Natalie out there, and it's 100% team. I did have one failure in Ash where I lost one, probably because the bomb exploded when the boss did his AoE damage, but otherwise that was just one loss. And yeah, but otherwise this team is like 100% in Queen 14, Which Other Win 14 and Ash 14, and it does these runs in really good time. Of course, it's not like the specialist high speed, high end gear teams, but if you already have Gangelo and Santis, you can use this. I'll try to test this team with Valuk, but I don't think that will be successful because Which Other Wins require Gangelo's bonus poison damage in order to kill off the witch fast. Otherwise you'll be hanging around trying to get her down, and you will not be getting enough poisons on her. It causes a lot of complication with Which Other Wins, and she's deals a lot of damage, so you have to have Gangelo. Unfortunately, that's the requirement for as of now. I hope Ace does something about it, like give bleeds more damage or to bring in some other mechanics that can deal with it. But you don't have to worry about having a Blackhorn or Hackrin. And the best part of this kind of a team is that you don't have to change the gear in any of these dungeons. You give one set of gear to all your champions and that's it. It's got the same gear that has been used in Which Other Win, in Ash 14 and in Queen 14. All through the place, it's just the same gear. And you'll see sometimes Natalie die, but that's okay. You don't have to worry about it. You just need one of the champions surviving, especially Gangelo. If you're having Gangelo surviving till the end, you will win the dungeon very easily. So the combination is pretty simple. It's just the same thing. It's all auto team. You just need them to have more than 22 or 23,000 health, around 1200 to 15 or 1600 defense, good speed. I'll show you the gear I'm using on these champions at the end of this video, but you can see that Which Other Win was not a problem. I got 10 out of 10 there, and the timing was also superb, just within 6 to 7 rounds, around 1 minute or so, 90 to 100 seconds. That's all that it takes to finish off that dungeon. So it's really easy to do with Halia out there. You can see the damage. Look at the damage Natalie is dealing. She's able to one-shot the first wave without any problem. That's because of the trait of Halia. So Halia's trait not only gives the additional damage, it also gives an additional damage based on the speed difference. So because she's got such high speed, and the caster is also having high speed enough that they are able to give more damage. So if you're able to give them more speed while keeping their focus, while keeping their stats constant, you will be dealing more damage. So the higher the speed that each one of them have, the greater the damage. So if your Natalie, my Natalie currently is only at 164 speed, but she's got around 5000 attack. So if I'm increasing her speed by say like 10 more, if I'm able to get that gear to increase her speed by another 10 speed, then she will be able to really deal a lot of damage on them. Like in some of the runs you will see that I will not be able to finish off one of the waves in one-shotting them. I will have to go a second round against them. But usually if you have a speed of around 170 to 180 on your Natalie and others, Natalie has to go slower than your Gangelo or your Santis, but if you're able to give something around 170 on them, she will one-shot everyone without having to use your defense down there. Like I did not use any defense down in my Witch of the Wind or in my Queen's team, but I was able to still clear off those dungeons. So what is required over here is that you need to give them speed. That speed is what gives the additional bonus damage, and that's what is better than the attack up. So you have to give that, and she will always be getting, you see, Natalie will always be getting that trait because she's got the highest attack. So the Halia's special will always land on her, and the AI is good. Like I said yesterday in my introduction to Halia's abilities, I said that, you know, like her AI is really, really good. She always places that special on Natalie and on no one else, so you don't have to worry about, you know, manualing it. It's such a auto-friendly team that you can easily set it up. The only requirement is that you have to be faster than the waves, and if you're able to get your team faster than the waves, you will deal that much more damage. But you have to anyhow give something around 4900 to 5000 attack. Like OnionBotome had his Natalie at 4900 attack with 266 or something around like that crit damage. I've got mine at 5000 attack and 268 crit damage, 100% crit and at 164 speed. So the greater the speed, the more damage you're going to get. So it's a beautifully, wonderfully tested out team. Even in Queen of Tide, you will see that it's only my Gangelo that survives, yet that's not a problem. That doesn't cause any issues. At the end, you'll see that my Natalie dies, my Halia dies, and my Santis also dies at the end, but still I get 100% runs out of it. The only problem is that because I do not have enough defense on my Santis, and she's like only at around 22,000 HP. So if you're able to get her higher than 22,000 HP, or maybe 23 to 24,000 HP, she will work so much better. So that's all that you need to do on these champions. You know, like the Halia is doing everything out here. Without Halia, this team will not work. You need Halia over there. So if you're able to do that with Halia, your team will work wonderfully, beautifully, and without any issue. So just look at the run. It flows so smoothly that I couldn't believe myself when I was doing the testing on Halia day before yesterday and yesterday. I was like, what? She's really dealing so much damage, extra damage. You know, the difference is very apparent, and I just was like, okay, Ace has given us some good champion over here. I hope that trait comes to more of her factions. Like, even if it doesn't give as good a damage as Halia, maybe reduce it by like 20 to 30%, give like 80% of what Halia is dealing. But still, if that trait is given on other champions as well, or some similar kind of traits on possibly epics and elites, I think like we can get other compositions working on dungeon. It's such things that help you to build different kind of teams, right? So I'm not sure if I'll be able to build a purely DPS team over here, but I might give it a try. But even then, the Queen and the Queen minions, they deal so much damage that, you know, a pure DPS team is not really possible. As you know, like every team, every champion, every hero in Ace deals damage based on their attack. It doesn't matter what kind of a champion you're using, even though they have got such high defense or high HP, they still deal their damage based on attack. unlike in Raid or some other game where a defense-based champion would deal damage based on their defense, Ace just deals damage based on their attack. So a support kind of team, a tanky kind of team, may not have sufficient attack to deal the DPS, and the queen is also like healing herself up and having such other sorry, she's not healing herself up, she gets healed by the crab, but those mechanics makes it very difficult to build a DPS only team. But if we are having such traits, like if some other champion comes in who gives some additional or bonus damage there, possibly an epic or an elite champion, then a DPS only team is also viable. And Ace needs to bring up such teams out there, such champions out there that will make other compositions viable, and we really hope that they do such things again. So yeah, so Halia is like a wonderful champion that you can use. If you have got her, you need to build her. I would certainly recommend. Now I have decided to use only these teams on 3 of my dungeons. I don't have to change gear. I don't have to bother about changing any of the other champions. So if you're a new player and you got Halia, build her up, use these teams, use these champions, and you just have to build 4 champions. That's it. And you'll be able to clear 3 of the most difficult dungeons. Of course, Queen is not that difficult with Gangelo and Santes, but Ash and Witch of the Wind is very difficult to beat, and you'll be able to beat them with just 4 champions. And yeah, so this is a wonderful effort by Ace to bring in better champions, and I hope they bring in such traits, such such champions that will allow us to build in different kind of compositions, different kind of teams, because you don't need just one team, one kind of composition there that can beat a dungeon. You need multiple compositions doing this, and Halia is one of the examples of how we can have some other kind of composition that can do the same thing that traditionally, I would say, over the period of 8 months you had no other options but Santes, Hakrin, Blackhorn and Gangelo to deal with a lot of dungeons. Unfortunately, this team will not work in Dragon, as you know, Dragon's trait allows him to build up rage and he'll start doing true damage on everybody if he gets hit. So it's not going to work properly in Dragon unless we have something that would be like, you know, giving him more true damage. So I hope we can build some team out of it. Maybe some other trait or maybe some other kind of options will be available for us to make the make other alternate teams for Dragon, Gemini Dragon that is. But as for these 3 dungeons, you don't have to worry. Halia, Natalie, Gangelo and Santes is sufficient. So you can see my Gangelo gear out here and my Halia gear out here. They are all like, you know, not super great, I would say, but she's only at 280 speed, you know, like she's not even 300 speed, but that's sufficient for it. You don't need her to be like super high, you just need her to be faster than the rest of the team. So yeah, these are the gears that I have on my team. I hope you like this video. Please share, like and subscribe to my videos. Please send me messages on YouTube, Reddit and Twitter. I hope to see you again on the next video. And I hope to bring more contents that can be interesting to you. Give me your comments and give me some topics to make videos on. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.